So let's get started. Good morning. It's the 3rd of June 2026. This is the IEMT Q&A, and today we've got some good questions again. Like I say, if you do want to actually ask any questions, please feel free and I'll do my very best to get to them. But let's get on to today. Right, okay, so please can you elaborate on the patterns of chronicity, e.g. what if or maybe? I should imagine maybe, man. Can you please give examples how to work with it rather than just pointing it out to people? Okay, so on the so on the training, you get the manual and it has all of the patterns of chronicity, and basically it says how to spot this and what to do with it. Um, with the training, we do go over all of these. And you also, I've got a video which is maybe an hour in length, which I tell people to watch as well. However, let's have a look at what some of these patterns are once again and how we can work with them. And you can tell them, you can spot them out with people, or you can work with them a bit more covertly as well. So let's start with the first one, which is the three-stage overreaction process. Now, the three-stage overreaction process starts when the client gives you a signal of some kind. The amplitude is then accelerated, and then something then happens, crying, or they storm off, or what have you. So what we're really looking to do is that they are trying to change other people's behavior with their emotion. Okay, so they're trying to change other people's behavior with their emotion. Now, as an IEMT practitioner, I'm not going to allow that to happen because an IEMT session runs the way that I want it to run and not because of the client's presenting emotions. So when somebody's starting to get upset, angry, distressed, whatever it might be, I will allow that to continue, and I will allow that to actually begin to accelerate. And I'll go, stop, hold. This feeling you have right now, how strong, how familiar, when's the first time you can remember feeling this way now? Because that is the emotion which I'm actually going to be working on. I don't need to explain this to them. I just need to have the emotions that are being presented for them to go, stop, hold, this feeling you have right now. Now, the thing is, if somebody's getting really upset, people go, isn't it rude? Or no, just say stop, hold it, and you'll be surprised that people do actually just follow orders. Okay, stop, hold this feeling you have right now, how strong, how familiar, and when's the first time you can remember feeling this way. So that's the three-step overreaction process. A next one, which is maybe man or maybe them, I suppose we should call it. This is when people don't commit to an answer. They don't commit to their experience, and they'll give you quite vague answers. They'll be like, yeah, it's like a 5 or a 6. They're not giving you a specific answer. So what you want to do is you want to make sure they do give you a specific answer. So if you go, so how strong is this feeling out of 10? Like a 5 or a 6. That's 6, that's 5. You see how they're different? So when you think about this feeling now, how strong is this feeling? It's a 5. Now, what's interesting with the maybe man as well, they will actually start to self-correct as you go on as well. So later on in the session, you say, so how strong is this feeling? 7 or 8. And if you just look at them, oh, it's an 8. They will start to correct themselves as well. So what if? Generally, what I have found is that when people are asking what if questions, it's either coming from one place or another. It's coming from a place of that they don't know because they don't possess the right skills, or they're asking it because they have a limiting belief about themselves. So what if this happens? Well, this is a training need, so you need to learn about how to deal with it, basically. And if they can't deal with it, it's, they need to go do a training or whatever it might be. But if they just keep asking what if questions, it's generally from a limiting belief that they hold. And so if they say what if, the therapist or the practitioner replies with then, and then which means. Now, the which means you are likely to get like an identity statement or a belief or something that kind of comes out with it. And we agree with them. That's right. We can now actually have something to work with. What if I go over? What if I lose my passport? Then I'll be completely lost and abandoned, which means I'm completely alone and vulnerable. That's right. I don't want to be alone and vulnerable. I know, but you are. So being alone and vulnerable, I am alone. When's the first time you can remember being alone? And this being vulnerable, when's the first time you can remember feeling vulnerable? So I've actually got stuff to now work with. Um, Three-stage overreaction, maybe man, what if, the last one, well, testing for evidence rather than testing for change. So when you ask a client what a memory is like or a feeling or something, they'll often just say it's still there. It's still there. And that's because they are looking for the problem. They're looking for the problem rather than actually looking for what's changing. And the thing is, a lot of people have been to therapy. They've been to lots of different therapies, and it's not worked for them. Okay, so just remember that you're just in a line of people that they've been to see or will go and see, and it just hasn't worked for them. So they're not used to things working. So what we want to do with these people, once we've done some eye movement work with them, challenge them to bring it back to what it was. Challenge them to bring it back. I like to say, if you try and bring this memory into focus, does it feel like it moves further away as well? Yeah. Well, try and bring it back to what it was. And they'll get quite frustrated. That's a feeling you can work on. And they'll just go, I can't, it won't come back. So I'll be like, so we can admit, you can admit that it's different. So it's changed. And often, like a little penny will drop, then they'll realize that what you're doing is different to what they've done before. And what I've really found is when you get resistant people and when they experience a profound change and they realize and they self-validated this change themselves, they become your biggest supporters. They really do. And the last one is cause and effect. So are they living a cause or effect life? Basically, are they letting life happen to them or are they going and doing their life? Now, people who let life happen to them are complainers. They are the people who want to tell you about how bad their life is. They've not paid for you to help them change. They've paid for you to listen to how bad their life is. Now, when we do IEMT, we're not doing counseling, we're doing change work. So when we work with these kind of people, we need to stop them dead in their tracks. So when you think about this memory now, what's it like? Well, the thing is, nope. When you think about this memory, what's it like? The thing, you'll never know what it was like. So when I was young, nope, let's hold it. When you think about this memory, what's the memory like? It's awful. I know. Hold that memory. Okay, so we need to just use the word stop. We need to stop them dead in their tracks. We need to stop them from elaborating, from going on, because what they want to do is they want to share their story so you can feel their pain. We're not interested in that. We're not. We don't do that in IEMT. So we need to go stop, hold it, and then actually move on with what we're doing. So those are the patterns of chronicity. The other patterns of chronicity that I've also witnessed in client work is where the problem is the problem. So basically, their whole existence is around a problem. Um, Somebody pointed out that Katie Price and people like this, their whole existence is around how they look, and look what they look like now. They've they don't look human, and I see this just in my local gym. I see people that just don't look human anymore, men and women, and also weight loss tends to be a big one. So, oh, it's raining hard. So when the problem is the problem, and also when people are expecting to feel a certain way when usually a physical condition is met or a condition is met, I will be happy when I am married. I will feel content when I have children. I will feel good enough when I have a partner. So when you have all of these things, um, trust me, it never works out like you want. we need to look at what the client now experiences in the negative way. I will be content when I have children, all right? So what's the problem now? Well, I am useless. I am not worthy. I'm not good enough, right? So you now got the beliefs and the emotions and stuff that you can work with. I hope that's cleared some stuff up for you then. The family panorama. I find it intriguing but time consuming. I have preferred to ask people about the identities of others instead. Yeah, I don't know about, I do know a bit about the family panorama stuff. From what I understand, and I might be completely wrong on this because I did do this training 13 years ago now. I believe it's where you set up coins and they represent family members and then you move and elicit emotions and stuff. I can't, I haven't really done it since my training in it and the advanced work, so unfortunately I can't give you any other help. I do know that doing the bring up the identity of the other person is very effective. I'd stick to doing that. Hi, when doing the other pronoun work, do we keep it to their own gender pronoun? So this is getting increasingly difficult. I read out the whole list as an example of the client, him in reference to her ex-husband, and I tried it, but it didn't seem right, so moved on to the visual representation. Yeah. So yeah, so basically you want to keep the identities about themselves, the other pronouns, so she, him, her, they, them, whatever. Yeah, because when it's him, if you're working with a woman and you're saying the pronoun of him, that's not to do with her. If she identifies as a woman, this is. However, an external identity, she could refer to him. Absolutely, she probably will. And so when somebody references the word him or the term him, bring him out in front of a real world 3D. Hold that, move the eyes. How do you cope with someone with a fear of heights? Okay, so again, I like to structure my sessions around two problems. What's the problem and what do you want? Well, I have a fear of heights. So what's the problem? Well, it's horrible. I can't go up high places. Well, what do you want? I want to be able to go up the Eiffel Tower. Okay, so what's the problem? Well, I have this huge. Right, well, let's start there. So I do like those questions. What do you want? And therefore, or what's the problem? So when you think about the thing is, just a fear of heights is very general. I don't know how high. How can you test it? Is it I'm on the second floor now? If I look out here, is it an issue? So you've got to get quite specific on how the problem not Phoenix is, summons it, rises. I don't have any language today. I don't know why. Presents itself, I suppose. And the more specific you can be, generally, I find the better the result on it. And so, and you just want to elicit the emotions. So elicit the emotions. So think about this thing you're going to do, okay, or that you want to do, and it might be to climb the Eiffel Tower or something, or I don't know, go up the Shard. And when you think about it, what's it like? Get the emotion, go back, work out the imprints. You can also do identity stuff around that. What kind of person is afraid of heights? Okay, so that's how I would do it, and I've done that quite successfully. How can IEMT help with issues such as IBS? Yeah, interesting one. Interesting one. So I have worked with people, and they've reported back to me that digestive issues and IBS related issues have actually eased off as a result of the work that we've done. So I don't work with IBS specifically. Um, IBS is a very, very complicated area because it's to do with lifestyle, it's to do with food choices, it's to do with when you eat, it's to do with alcohol, it's to do with smoking, it's to do sometimes, I can't say I'll get fined, but use of certain chemicals and all this kinds of things. But one major contributor is stress. So if somebody comes to me because they're stressed, well, what's the problem? So we begin to break stuff down. And so IMT, I have found to work very well on digestive issues, also things sort of like libido and immune systems, and also weirdly, fertility. I've worked with several people. I should be able to do a case study really, and I've worked with them, and they've been trying to conceive for some time, but they've come to me because of other things, and they've been able to conceive naturally within like a month of having IEMT. I would never promote that. Um, but I've had people again with libido kind of issues, both men and women, digestive issues. So yeah, so I am. So the thing is, when somebody comes to me, I've never had somebody come to me just with digestive issues. They've come to me with stress-related issues, and IBS or digestive issues has been a consequence or a symptom of this. I'm just looking at what emotions they're experiencing, what's the actual sources of stress in their life, and when you begin to resolve those, things like digestive issues tend to just get better on their own. Is it better to specialize in something or work with everyone? So it's a good, real good question, is this? Um, I always think it's better to specialize in something. In a type of client, in a type of work, I think you are better to work with a type of person. And you can combine your IEMT skills with something else as well. There's on my YouTube channel, there's 60 plus people who work with different types of people using IEMT and using different skills in combination. And it's been very, very successful. So I would suggest to go check those out to see what those people are doing. Um, I I have found though, if you specialize in something, you will still attract other people to you who want to work on other stuff as well. Okay, so actually doing that, yeah, I think you will actually sort of still work with other people coming to you for other things. But when you specialize in something, in one thing, you will get known for that thing. Once you get really good at one particular thing, it's easier to get PR, local PR as well, into your local papers. Say that you help specialize, say that you help people with fear of flying. Well, I would personally then work with somebody local and get into the local press by helping them with their fear of flying and have pictures of them on a plane, that kind of stuff. So personally, I think working with people and specializing in something is best because you'll always get the other things as well. Any other questions before we wrap it up for today? Next training is 27th and 28th of June. There are 5 places left. Let me just check. Yeah, there's 5, so it's half booked up already. There are 5 places left. IEMTpractitionertraining.com. All the information is available. And yeah, I think that's it for now, ladies and gents. Ladies and gents. I think that's it for now. If there's no questions, let me just check in the WhatsApp group. WhatsApp. Let me just check. If not, I am going to go and leave you all. Right, there's no final questions. Everybody hates me. All right, I'll see you guys later. Take care.